These rarely come up on the auction. So first, I want to talk about this 600 LT.
McLaren sports car slammed into a pole.
Actually, no damage. I just checked on the sticker. It was here for theft damage. No visible damage. Trying to figure out why it's totaled. Can't really see any damage other than, again, wheel and suspension damage. What's going on, guys? My name is JohnStax, and in today's video, I'll be bringing you guys along with me to insurance auto auctions over in Hollywood, California, to show you a bunch of cheap supercars. You guys have been asking for more of these videos, so I decided to make one. If you enjoyed them, please leave a like down below so I would know to make more. Also, while I was on vacation in California, I did put in 3 lowball bids on 3 separate cars, and I won them. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see those. 2 of the cars are flipper cars, which you guys said you wanted to see more flip cars. And then one of the cars is going to be a personal vehicle of mine that I intend to keep. I am still looking for a nice car to build. That GTR from the last video finally has a sale date, so I might try to get that cheap. So if you want to see any of that stuff and more walkarounds, definitely subscribe down below. But with all that being said, let's dive right in. So I just made it inside the lot of the IAA North Hollywood branch. So far, based on what I've seen, this is one of the craziest slots by far. Right here is a 488, then a 2020 Corvette. There's an Aston Martin Vantage, Huracan, Urus, another Aston Martin, 2 600 LTs in the garage. So I'm super excited to check these cars out. First, I want to start off with this C8 Corvette. It was hit in the front. It looks like pretty crazy damage, but these sell for a ridiculous amount of money. I think this one would sell for over 50 grand for sure, but it hasn't sold yet, so I can't tell for sure. On the side, no damage, just the tire looks a little bit flat, and then some damage on the rear bumper cover. In the back, there's virtually no damage. And then on this side, no damage either. It is taped off. I don't want to take the tape off since I don't intend on purchasing this car. I'll just put a picture of the interior up. What do you guys think? Is this one repairable? Let me know down in the comments. So this gray one didn't sell yet, but since you guys asked last video, I will be giving you some examples of similar cars that sold. This first blue one sold for $51,000. Rear end hit, the front end has minor damage. This second example is essentially a parts car completely destroyed. Pretty much the only thing that survived is probably the engine. This one sold for $25,250. And the third example I found, complete ripoff. This one sold for $85,000. Very minor damage, but essentially the same price as a brand new one. Next to the Corvette is this 2020 Aston Martin Vantage. It took a pretty heavy hit. As you can see, the wheel came off. And then up front over here, radiators are damaged, the motor could be pushed back. This is a pretty serious hit. I personally believe this car is going to be parted out. I can't imagine anyone repairing it. They are incredibly rare and it would be hard to find used parts. But other than that hit up there, the rest of the car is in decent shape. This wheel and suspension aren't damaged. Towards the side, no damage either. This is just residue from tape, not scratches. Back here, no damage at all. This is a crazy rear end, so aggressive. I rarely see these cars out on the streets. This is probably the second time I'm seeing one in person. And yeah, back here, no damage. Some light scratches on the rear bumper cover, and then this wheel is destroyed. But other than that, just that main front end hit. Again, the door's taped. I'm not going to open it up. I don't have Aston Martin money. These rarely come up on the auction. I think only a handful sold. I'll put some examples up on the screen. Like most of the exotic cars, this white one doesn't even have a sale date yet. It's a future sale. So I'm going to provide 3 examples of Aston Martin Vantages that sold, so you guys have a pretty good idea of how much these cars sell for. So the first example I want to show you guys is this black one with very minor front end damage. This sold for $53,500, an excellent deal in my opinion. This second example has pretty much no damage. It's listed as front and rear end, but as you can see, it's just tiny scratches.
This one sold for 66 grand. And the third example I found is the cheapest one. This one only sold for $42,000. But as you could see, pretty crazy front end hit, probably mechanical damage. Those are three examples. Based on these, I think the white one would sell for probably $31,000.
Next to the Aston Martin is a Lamborghini Huracan. This is a 2018. From the back, no damage whatsoever. Very nice looking wing. Other than that, it looks stock. No damage on the side. But towards the front, that's where it took all the damage. Not the worst thing in the world, because this one, the engine is in the back. And as you can see by this hit, these frame rails survived. If anything, it might need a tiny tweak. But other than that, this is an ideal hit. If I was in the market for a Huracan, this would be on the top of my watch list. 2018, I think it has 2,000 miles. Very minor damage. 2016 sell pretty cheap now. You could get one for around 80 grand, I want to say. But I think this one would sell closer to 100 grand because of the minor damage and because it's a 2018. On the inside, it's in pretty good shape. Just the driver airbag is deployed and the knee airbag. Other than that, everything's perfect. Seats are in perfect condition. The seat airbags did not deploy. Overall, very nice Huracan, ideal damage. I would definitely pick this up. Maybe by the time it gets a sale date, I'll be able to afford it.
I was able to find 4 similar Huracan sales. So this first orange one sold for $98,500 with just minor front end damage. This white one sold for $54,000. As you can see, the damage is pretty crazy, but the price is low. The third one I found was the cheapest one at just $45,500. But as you can see, very crazy damage, probably going to be used for parts. And the fourth example I found actually sold at a UK auction for £67,000, which I think rounds to around $100,000. And this one actually had a clean title too. Not a bad price in my opinion.
Next to the Huracan is this Urus. Very minor damage in comparison to the other Uruses I've seen. That red one I saw in Newburgh was crazy damaged, but this one is in pristine shape in comparison. Over here, the fender survived. The headlight is missing, but the hood is completely straight. Even the windshield survived. That's rare to see. Half the bumper's missing here, headlight's missing, and the fender's removed. There looks like some minor suspension damage over here. It's pretty tight. And the wheel has some scratching, but it looks like the wheel itself survived. Tire's flat. And then on the side here, the rocker panel molding is missing, and the door has a big dent. I think this is going to be repaired for sure, because these doors are crazy expensive. The rest of the side is in good shape. Rear wheel survived. The center cap is missing over there. Oh wow, I just noticed it has the carbon fiber moldings. I'm not sure if that's an option or aftermarket, but I've never seen that before. The rear survived as well. No damage back here. And back to this side. Super clean example. This is going to be repaired for sure. Multiple Uruses have already sold, so we have a pretty good idea of how much they sell for and how much this one should potentially sell for. Oh, it has carbon fiber mirror caps as well, so carbon everywhere. On the inside, driver airbag is deployed and the curtain airbags. As you can see, that headliner is almost coming out. The force from those airbags tore everything off. Those airbags are deployed as well. Seats survived though. These side airbags usually rip the seats apart. Luckily in this case they survived. But other than that, this is a very clean example. Oh wow, in the back there's more of the parts. The radiators, the bumper reinforcement looks like it survived. These fender covers were removed, not broken off. The old fenders in here, that saves a lot of money. I like how they use this plastic wrap to protect the interior and store all the parts. So those parts right there save a good couple grand right there.
I found 2 Urus sales. The first one is this black one with very minor damage that sold for $121,000. And the second one I found was this white 2021 that sold for $98,000 with some pretty heavy front end damage. Not a good deal in my opinion. But based on these two previous sales, I would guess that the blue one is going to sell for around $120,000.
This right here is an Aston Martin DB9. One of the most attainable cars, definitely in my budget, but I can't afford to maintain something like this. I wouldn't even know where to start. And this one's pretty heavily damaged. From this angle, it looks perfect. Moving towards the front, you can see that the grill's missing and the bumper cover's cracked. And then moving on here, a quarter of the car is missing. Heavy suspension damage, no wheel. The subframe looks like it wasn't harmed. But yeah, this was a crazy hit. But moving towards the side here, no damage. And towards the rear, it looks good as well. Let's take a look inside. Inside, just the driver airbag deployed. Oh, they do include the wheel and suspension. That could save a couple grand right there if it survived. Just the one airbag. Looks like an automatic transmission. Interior is very clean. Now that I think about it, the damage isn't that bad. For an experienced mechanic or somebody that works in this, just what, control arm, sway bar, maybe steering rack. So, not too bad. But like I said, I usually buy cars with almost no damage, so this wouldn't be something I would pick up.
The Aston Martin sold for $17,000, but I did find 3 more examples. This white 2008 with minor damage sold for $31,500. This black 2015 sold for just $46,500 and it essentially has no damage. I would definitely want something like this. And the third example I found is this 2005 with just mechanical damage, no body damage, and it sold for $11,500.
Okay, now we're getting to the best part. Inside this tent are some of the craziest cars I've ever seen. So first, I want to talk about this 600 LT. As you can see, it's chrome wrapped, looks perfect from the front. Now it is covered everywhere with this wrap. And moving towards the side, it looks like half the car is missing right here. Some crazy T-bone accident. Front tire came off the wheel and the wheel's damaged, but it looks like no suspension damage. This chrome looks really good in person, but yeah, look at this. Heavy hit into the side. Wow, that's a hard hit. Everything's taped off. I'm not gonna take the tape off.
A popular YouTuber was killed in a violent crash last night in Valley Village. That McLaren sports car slammed into a pole near the corner of Houston Street and Carpenter Avenue. According to an Instagram post from his brother, YouTube star Corey LaBerry was a passenger in the car and died. It was his 25th birthday.
The rear, some minor damage here. Not as crazy as that side hit. But based on that hit, this one would need a chassis swap. So I doubt this one is definitely going to be parted out or used to rebuild a different McLaren. There's no way I can imagine anyone fixing this. Look at that. Everything's twisted. All these covers are popping off. Crazy damage. They were probably going pretty fast. Over on this side, everything survived. And then back over here, I'm assuming the window was shattered. And then the mirror looks like it's broken off or folded in. But other than that, this was a beautiful car. Something you would see straight out of GTA. Behind the 600 LT is this AMG GT. I'm not sure if it's a GTR. It just says GT on the sticker. Every time I see a AMG GT car, they have relatively minor damage. This is another example of minor damage. As you can see, just the front bumper cover is damaged a little bit. And the frame looks like it survived. Even these smaller frame pieces are good. Suspension looks all good. Under the hood, yeah, you can see even the radiator support is good. Definitely minor damage. This is going to be fixed for sure. I've seen several of these cars sell really cheap. My ideal car was a 2016 AMG GT, a blue one with very minor damage that sold for like 43 grand. So it's going to be exciting to see how cheap this one sells for. Moving towards the side, fender survived. Might need a little bit of work, but it looks good. Hood survived. Essentially just front bumper assembly and headlights. Everything else seems to check out. The fender is a little bit pushed out. I think insurance took it apart to inspect for frame damage and they just slapped it back. But the side is good here. Super aggressive rear end, beautiful car. No damage here. Wow, that's crazy. I would love owning one of these cars. And just like that blue one, I think this could sell for a really good deal. But we'll have to wait and find out. Over on this side, again, no suspension damage. Essentially no damage, just missing portion of the handle. But that's nothing to worry about. Minor dent in the door. And then the side skirt is coming off a little bit. But yeah, this is ideal damage as well. Definitely something I'd get into. Now let's take a look over there. This Porsche is an 89 with no visible damage. I'm honestly not sure why it's here. It does say no forks on it. Usually with the higher end cars, they don't fork them to avoid unnecessary damage. But moving towards the side, no visible damage. Trying to figure out why it's totaled. The rear quarter panel has minor damage right there. Back here, bumper cover is damaged, taillights are cracked. Not seeing anything serious yet. Rear bumper is cracked here. The taillight is coming out. Very minor damage. I'm kind of confused why it's here. This might be one of those lucky cars that has no damage and gets totaled. So yeah, this side is perfect as well. I'm a little bit confused why this thing's here. Even the front lip survived. Usually these cars have undercarriage damage that's hard to spot from the top, but this one looks pristine other than that damage back there. Wow, I'm kind of confused. It is listed as a run and drive with just 22,000 miles. I'll have to take a closer look online to see why it's here. Interior is perfect. Definitely smells like an 89 from here. This is a rare find. Whoever picks this up is going to be very lucky. Beautiful car I could appreciate, but I'm not in the market for anything like this. Let me know, what do you think of this car, and would you pick it over anything else here? Let me know down below. This right here is one of my favorite childhood cars. This is a 2008 Rolls-Royce Phantom drop head. Very minor damage. Actually, no damage. I just checked on the sticker. It was here for theft damage. Front end looks good. Hood is popped. I might take a look underneath. On the side, no damage. Not even a single scratch. This thing's pristine. Back here, the only damage I could find is minor curb rash on this wheel. The top looks in perfect condition as well. This thing is clean. Moving towards the rear, no damage whatsoever. I think this one was just stolen and recovered with no damage. The center caps are missing off the wheels. And that curb rashed wheel. That's the only damage I'm seeing. Yeah, wow. Lots of theft recovered cars with no damage today. Let's see if it's unlocked. Take a look inside. Suicide doors that everybody loves. Seat is a little bit worn out and dirty, but nothing that can't be cleaned. Airbags obviously didn't deploy because it was a recovered theft. But yeah, very clean car. The theft damage cars are the best. They sell for the most, but the fact that you're getting a no damage car for sometimes up to 50% off retail just because it was a recovered theft is amazing. Whoever gets this might get a really good deal. But honestly, even if you save 20% on it with no repairs to do and you were looking for one of these, definitely good. Under the hood, very clean. This thing looks mint. Not a single oil spill, nothing. I'd be pretty confident bidding on something like this. Again, I'm not gonna start this thing up because I'm not gonna buy it anyways, but I'm pretty confident it would run perfectly fine because it was just a recovered theft. But this is a beautiful engine. I actually don't even know what these sell for on the auction, so I'll throw the prices up on the screen if any have sold. And I'm not even sure how much this is worth with a clean title either, because it's such a rare car. I haven't really researched them that much. Okay, another 600 LT and then a Ferrari 488, but I want to start with this one. This right here is another 600 LT. This one's a 2019 with no damage in comparison to that chrome one. So front end looks perfect. Even that front lip survived. That's how I know it doesn't have undercarriage damage. So perfect front end, beautiful headlights, no suspension damage. Even the tires are full of air. In here the windows are rolled down for some reason, but beautiful Alcantara interior. Airbags did not deploy. That saves a bunch of money. That's definitely one of the most overlooked costs. A lot of people don't realize how much airbags and interior repairs actually add to the repair cost of a vehicle. So that's a good sign. Here, these aren't scratches, it's just residue from that white covering tape. And then back here, no suspension or wheel damage either. And rear end, everything looks absolutely perfect. Diffuser, one of the fins is bent, so I guess it might have bottomed out somewhere, but that could have been from the tow truck when it was taken away. And then my favorite part about this car, the top exhausts. Overall very clean. The only visible damage here is the suspension and wheel damage back here. This is going to be fixed pretty easily, I'm assuming. Maybe rear subframe could be damaged, worst case scenario. But I think this is going to be an easy fix for somebody who works on cars like this. And they're going to make a lot of money when it comes time to sell it. Moving on here, the side skirt has some scratches. And that's pretty much it. Airbag deployed in the door panel. I've never seen that. I've seen headliner airbags and seat airbags, but this one's in the door panel. That's interesting. Other than that, no airbags deployed. Beautiful interior. This was definitely on my bucket list to own. I've never seen a 600 LT sell either. I'm gonna look it up and see the price range of wrecked ones, how much wrecked ones have sold for. And if this one does sell, I'll put the price up as well. But a lot of times with these higher end cars, they're on future for a while. It might sell in a month, 6 months, who knows. I was only able to find 2 previous 600 LT sales. This first one sold for $61,275, and this second one sold for $132,000. This one's definitely my dream spec, especially with those Senna seats and the full Alcantara interior. Based on these 2 previous sales, I would guess that the black one's gonna sell for around 115 grand. And the chrome one is probably going to sell for around 50 grand. This one right here is a 2018 Ferrari 488 GTB. Beautiful car, very minor damage as well. Definitely a bucket list car to own. This one only has 6,000 miles, and like I said, very minor damage. Let's start from the front. No damage there. Wheels and suspension look good. The side has no damage either. Towards the rear, missing tail lights, and the bumper's disconnected. I'm assuming insurance took it off to check for frame damage and then just popped it back on, which isn't a concern. That's how they appraise the car's value. It probably did have some minor frame damage or something, so they just put the bumper back on and sent it to auction. But yeah, I can't really see any damage other than, again, wheel and suspension damage. There's some missing parts here, maybe like some brake cooling ducts. Right there, some minor suspension damage. Right there, some more suspension damage. Wheel is completely twisted out. but overall very minor, no crazy frame damage. This is going to be repaired for sure, and someone's going to have a very clean 2018 488 GTB for a bunch of money off. Inside, beautiful, no damage at all. Airbags survived. Again, that saves a bunch of money. Again, one of the cleanest Ferraris I've seen with relatively minor damage. This one's gonna get repaired quick.
I found this 2016 488 that sold for $75,000. At first, it looks like an excellent deal, but once I saw the photos of the rear end, it didn't look like such a great deal to me. I still think this is going to be repaired. Based on this previous sale, I would guess that the yellow one's going to sell for closer to $110,000.
So that's going to be it for this video. The sun's already setting. It's 5 o'clock. They're closing. So I'm going to head out. If you guys want to see more of these type of videos, let me know. I have a bunch from previous visits. I'll link down below. And I did purchase 3 cars randomly. I just lowballed 3 cars and I won them. So I'll be doing videos on those as well. That being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.